For the presentation, I was learning how to juggle, a skill that I was not competent at as seen in the video. For the beginning of the video, I was working at the cognitive level, requiring to slow things down, and as demonstrated by an inability to handle all three balls, I needed to break it down into small learning steps. I began by gaining the rhythm of throwing one ball from one hand to the next, as this is the general basis of the movement for the ball. Throwing was a skill that I was autonomous with, so I found this task quite simple. However, it did assist me in getting a feel for the movement of the ball. The second step was to perform the dips upon catching each ball. This is the movement of catching and dipping the hand around once caught to be moving up before releasing again. This is the technique used to juggle and was fairly simple as it was just a small adjustment to throwing. I once again feel that I was completing this step at an autonomous level as my movements were accurate, consistent, and efficient. The next step was to get a second ball involved, and this was a fair increase upon the first ball, however, wasn't something I struggled with too hard. The movement of the ball from one hand to the other was fairly simple, and there was consistency and accuracy to suggest I was maintaining an autonomous level moving up the skills. The process of moving from the first ball to the second is a large step, however, and increases the difficulty of the skill immensely. So achieving the ability to juggle two balls fairly easily doesn't reflect over to three balls, as it is the third ball that requires a much higher skill level to juggle. This demonstrates why I regress back to a cognitive level once the third ball is introduced. As I began to attempt three balls again, I still just demonstrated a cognitive level, however, slowly began to show signs that I was progressing towards working at an autonomous level. The main issues I found early with juggling was an inability to maintain my throws in arm's reach, and was always losing balls through throwing them forwards, which either put off my rhythm or stopped the juggling altogether as I would lose a ball. Over repeat trial and error, I demonstrated growth from the cognitive level to the autonomous level, demonstrating an improvement in consistency and the movements of both catching the ball and throwing becoming something that I was getting stronger at. I saw an improvement in the number of throws and catches completed, and I found myself performing the skill without thinking too much about each movement, just allowing for each ball and throw to go up one after another. Whilst personally I didn't achieve the skill of juggling to be at the autonomous level, my friend Will demonstrated an ability to perform the task at a consistent, accurate, and efficient rate, with little cognitive thought put into the skill.